Welcome back to part 2 of Disc Golf Examiner's final round coverage of the 2020 Pittsburgh Flying Disc Open, sponsored by Innova Flying Disc. I'm Maria Montano, here with 2012 World Champion Sarah Hokom. Sarah, how excited are you for this back nine coverage?
I'm really excited to watch it. It was quite a nail biter, and I'm hoping that you guys are just as excited as I am.
So you've got a 3-stroke lead coming in here to hole 10. How are you feeling at this point? Are you feeling confident?
Well, I've kept the box for most of the front 9, so I am feeling really good, but the back 9 has some teeth, and you can take some big numbers, especially on the last few holes. So I'm not taking anything for granted. I'm going to keep trying to play my best, stay shot for shot, and stay focused.
So here we are at hole 10, par 4. 495 feet, sort of a long and straight. You want to challenge this left side to get up this dog leg left, throwing up a steep hill with a low ceiling on this right side towards a basket that's sort of situated on a pretty slopey green. So Sarah, you've got the box here. It looks like you're lining up a backhand. What do you have for us?
I am throwing the Vanish on a hyzer, looking to get around that corner and then proceed up the hill. I catch that tree, but I still can see the basket from there, so that's not the worst shot. Kelsey throwing her boss a little bit long. She did this yesterday as well, and she's going to have a little bit of trouble in that brush, that deep brush.
Lisa had a good pull there, got a decent skip. Oh, but she finishes right behind that tree. That's an unfortunate finish for her after a pretty decent drive.
Holly with her boss. She gets the skip and the roll up the hill, and we'll have a look at the pin.
Yeah, and it's hard to see on this coverage, but this hill is pretty steep, and Kelsey just doesn't have great footing here. She's able to pitch up, get up there. She's going to have a good chance to get up and down. Sarah, you've got a pretty good spot here where you finished.
Yeah, and this is a max distance drive for me. I'm throwing my trace, hoping for a little bit of flip up that left side, and then I'm also hoping it'll still fade back, and it mostly does that. Leaves with me like a 25-footer.
Couldn't really ask for a better couple of shots here. Lisa sort of pinned behind that tree. It looks like she turns over her shot a little too hard.
Holly going for that center gap, looking for, straight shot, and she's in position for birdie.
Yeah, that's a really great shot. A long uphill putt for her birdie. Lisa's lining up her third shot here.
Throwing the Annie right under the pin.
Perfectly placed for her.
She's done that a few times. Kelsey giving the shot a run, leaving her a small comebacker on the backside.
Holly here stepping up to a pretty big putt here for her birdie 3, uphill. Just left on that. It's a challenging putt, and you're left here with this for your 3.
Footing's a little bit uneven, so I am choosing to straddle it about 20, 25 feet, something like that. Very makeable.
Oh, stay up.
Yeah, it felt good. It felt good out of the hand, but just as you can see, a hair short.
Holly's got a little bit of a comebacker here, putting down towards the hill. No problem for her. So it looks like you got away here a little bit with another one of those ones where you wanted that birdie to get that stroke. Nobody else is able to step up and get the birdie as folks sort of tap out here.
Yeah, I feel like I've been leaving the door open for someone to have a really hot round. And not that I've been making a lot of mistakes per se, but I haven't been actually scoring a lot. And so far, none of the ladies have stepped up and got those birdies that are available.
You're bogey free through the first 10 holes here. That's a pretty good accomplishment here on this course. As we go into hole 11, you've still got that 3-stroke lead. So here we're looking at hole 11, par 3, 300 feet, a really tight tunnel shot here off the tee, putting you up into a sort of a slopey hillside green. Lays out pretty well, I think, for both the backhand and the sidearm to sort of get something up onto that hill. Sarah, what are you looking at here?
I'm throwing a trace, looking for a slight flip up and a fade at the end. I've struggled on this hole most of the tournament, leaving it out left. And this is another one I left out a little bit left, but in this case, I do have a much better putt than I did before I stabled up on my trace. Kelsey
Here's
with
Kelsey.
her T-bird, getting a little bit of a. Did she hit that tree? Man, I couldn't
It looked
even
like
see.
she might have kicked that tree a little bit, so she's going to finish pretty far left there. She's going to have a difficult putt for 2.
Lisa with her trusty Shrike. She throws this disc a lot and sneaks through the right side. And wow, she's got a nice putt.
When you're throwing it like that, there's no need to go away from that disc when you're feeling it.
Holly threading her boss again up that right side, giving herself an edge of the circle look.
So 3 drives through that tough tunnel gap off the tee.
Kelsey from about 40 tries to give it a run, but she was certainly out of position. She had a weird stance there.
A lot of trees between her and the basket.
And I am also just outside the circle, which is actually one of my favorite putts. Outside the circle or parked. Those are my 2 favorite places to putt from.
Nice little jump putt, Sarah, for the birdie. That was a great putt there. That's got to feel good.
Yeah,
look at that.
The first time I got it during the tournament.
Ooh, sneaks it over off the top of the basket. Nice 2. See Holly from about circle's edge here. Ooh.
Man, chain out left. It's close.
And Lisa finishes off her birdie after a fantastic drive. Gonna have just a couple of tap outs here to finish off hole 11.
Yeah, I like this placement better than the one up further left that we used for the World Championships.
Yeah, this one feels reachable. Yeah.
Reachable, but still takes a really quality shot and sometimes a big putt.
So you get a stroke on Kelsey there on hole 11, leading us into hole 12, probably one of the more technical par 4s on the course. So we're looking at a par 4, 567 feet. We're going to have a hard dog leg left here, really into this tight wooded area. You've got sort of a fairway gap to the left and to the right, up towards this basket, and there's trouble all the way along that right-hand side, a really steep hill where if you kick a tree and you finish down there, you're looking at a hard time getting up and down for your par.
I'm throwing another backhand here with my trace. I miss it wide again 3 times in a row. I'm not really sure why I kept missing this shot, but I'm still in the short grass and I have a little bit of a look at that gap to get through the gauntlet, as I call it.
You're in a good spot to sort of pick your lane from there. And we look at Lisa, who's challenging that left-hand side a little bit more. Oh, she catches that last tree, but she's in a pretty good spot there.
Kelsey throwing her boss, looking to get a skip left to get herself in position, and holy cow.
Holy cow. That is the farthest into the woods that I've seen someone play on this hole. Fantastic drive by her.
Holly with an early release hits early
Oh,
trees and has a really tough look from there.
looks like it just came out of her hand a little early. And Holly's lining up something difficult to try to find her way back into the fairway here.
And that is a fantastic shot. I really like that left side, so you're far away from the right side trees that slope into spindle death area.
Absolutely. Looks like you're lining up that left-hand side as well. Finding the gaps in between those trees. A fantastic shot there, Sarah.
Yeah, that worked out. I definitely missed my line by a hair, but ended up getting through anyway. I'll take a little bit of luck.
Lisa sees that. Unfortunately, she catches a tree, and she's going to finish off to the left there. Kelsey, after her monster drive, is left with a pretty difficult decision here on that right side gap, or that looks like she's going to line up that Anheuser gap onto the left. Oh, no, she went for the right.
Heiser.
Yeah.
It's like her buzz, and she puts it in a great position to get a birdie on this hole, which I have not. I think she actually birdied it one of the previous rounds, but I haven't seen anybody else get this one in 3.
Such a hard hole to birdie. We've got Lisa here giving it a good rip to get down towards the basket. So she's going to finish about pin high, a little bit short. Holly, after a remarkable recovery shot.
It's that nice flip up and a little bit high up into the brush, but she's right at the edge of the circle. Yeah. So that's right in her wheelhouse.
Yeah, sort of a, do I run this and at that hill or lay it up position for her?
So I'm just trying to pitch this up there with a spin, which is a really straight, slightly understable putter. I'm not trying to throw it hard at all. And I kind of baby it again. This is the second time this round I babied that little shot, but I'm still close enough that I can make that putt.
Looks like Lisa's going to line this up here. We know she likes to be aggressive. Putting sort of towards that downhill. A little bit long. She's going to have some work to do to get up and down from there.
Holly also from up top, pin high, looking at about 30 feet.
Oh, it looks like she caught something and stayed up on the hill. Didn't go too far down there. Kelsey, this is for a 3. This is a big putt here.
Oh, that was so close. I felt for her at that moment because that was she threw such good shots to get to where she was.
So you're lining up here for your par to keep that lead from Kelsey. Absolutely placed right into the basket. Nice par.
And Lisa's got a comebacker here. Slightly uphill, edge of the circle. And Lisa does Lisa things.
She's got a great putting stroke. We've got Holly here.
Also I think Holly and Lisa got a little bit lucky here that those missed putts from uphill didn't roll down that hill into death zone.
Yeah. If you go down that hill, you're no longer looking at 4, you're looking at a 6, maybe even an 8, depending on how far down you go. But you and Kelsey both take pars on that. You're going to keep your 4-stroke lead. Lisa and Holly take their 5s. Coming into par 3, 252 feet. This is a tight fairway. And again, you don't want to get off to that right. It's a lot of trouble, a lot of guardian trees. You get the birdie and you feel like you've just taken on the world, but it's easy to get a 4 or worse on this hole if you're not able to get off this tee.
I call this one thread the needle.
Absolutely.
And I'm throwing a crave here, pretty beat up crave, trying to just hit that gap. It's slightly uphill as well, so you're dealing with a slight elevation change. which is where I get into the trouble. Threw it a little bit left, and I kick all the way down the hill.
This is such a demanding hole.
Kelsey gets through those trees on the right and puts it at circle's edge.
Fantastic drive from Kelsey. Lisa trying to follow that line. Misses those trees. She's going to fade out a little bit left here, but she's going to have a look at the basket from where she's at. She can give it a run from there.
Yeah, that's a great kind of miss, I guess. You know, if you're going to miss that perfect line, fading up left is definitely better than right.
Looks like Holly caught an early tree, but she's able to keep moving forward on her drive. Not quite sure where she's finished. You've got a tight look here towards the basket.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this look. I have to throw a backhand through a tight gap, which is not my strength. So I'm hoping that this spin goes where I'm aiming. And it does. A little hot.
Oh, right.
A little hot coming in. I kind of threw it pretty hard because I was trying to make sure I hit that gap, and then it left me with a 25-foot comebacker, but I'm happy that I hit the gap.
Looks like Holly's sort of up against this tree here. She made it down pretty far after hitting an early tree.
Perfect up.
Yeah, great upshot from Holly. She's going to have a nice, easy tap in for her. For her 3 there. Kelsey's got a good shot at a 2 here.
From circle's edge, and it's in.
Absolutely great putt there by Kelsey. That's got to feel good after missing on the previous hole. She picks up that stroke from you here. And that's going to, let's take another look at that. Uphill, right into the basket. Well played hole by Kelsey. And then Lisa's got a chance at birdie here as well.
Yeah, there's a few trees to navigate on that left side, but it looks like she's actually gone past where they are.
Yeah, it looks like she finished about pin high. Yeah.
Yeah, open look. Yeah. And she sneaks it in the left side.
Well done.
Lisa doing Lisa things.
She's so good at those longer putts. And here you are.
Here, trying to save my par. Got kind of an uncomfortable stance. Yeah, it really is. There's some roots on my lie and on my back foot. But this is very makeable, 25 feet. Not today.
Oh, no. Off the top of the cage, Kelsey's going to pick up 2 from you on this one hole.
Yeah, that was not, I did not like that moment. But, you know, that's the way it goes, especially when, you know, it's a really tough birdie and she got that tough birdie. And then for the first time all around, I bogey. So, yeah, I'm feeling the pressure right now.
So your 4-stroke lead turns to a 2-stroke lead. Coming into hole 14, par 4, 444 feet. This course does not let up anytime soon. Sort of a couple options off the tee before pitching through this tightly wooded fairway up towards this basket here on the left-hand side. Sarah, you've lost the box.
Dang it.
So here we look at Kelsey.
Kelsey throwing her boss. She leaves it a little bit early, but she gets really far up there. And
she absolutely got away with it.
Lisa going with her sidearm. She's got a great sidearm. One of the more balanced players out on the road. And it's a little bit high, but she gets a fade into a pretty open area. We'll have a look to get up and down for a birdie.
Absolutely. Holly's drive.
Really well executed. And leaves her in a pretty good spot.
Wow, some really good drives here. Sarah, what are you doing here?
I'm throwing a trace up the left side, looking for it to fade right into the gap that gives me the best look at getting a birdie. And it's exactly what I was looking for.
Well executed. Hit your line. Look at what Lisa's got here.
Lisa gets all the way through and is actually deep of the basket at circle's edge.
Wow, Lisa with a nice shot through those woods. Not an easy thing to do.
I'm
Sarah,
throwing a
this
roll. Yeah,
this
I'm
seems
throwing a
new to
roller
you.
here. Well, I've actually been throwing the roller here on almost every round, but because the gap is so tight that it's much easier to get a vertical disc through it than a horizontal one. So this is a shock. I'm trying to throw it down about 12 o'clock, get it to fade up left. It hit a root right on the first bounce, which kind of I lost a lot of speed there, but I'm at the edge of the circle, so
Yeah.
I can't be
We'll
too
give,
angry about that.
yeah. Kelsey looks like she's got a tight little lane here that she's going to be trying to hit. Oh, catches an early
Which,
tree. Yeah.
yeah, that's a tough spot over on that left side.
Yeah. The right side is really a little bit as open as it can get on this course. Holly with a fantastic drive.
Pulls it just a little bit and
Oh,
gets a kick down to the right side. So she'll have to pitch up for her par look.
unfortunate after such a great drive to sort of miss that shot.
Yeah, that's the one thing about courses like this is you really have to string together the good shots in order to score. So
Absolutely.
consistency is going to pay off in the end. Kelsey with a long look for birdie.
Ooh, good run. Came up just a little short left there. Sarah, it looks like you're going to line up a jump putt, your favorite.
This is my favorite distance right here.
Big putt for you, Sarah, after losing 2 strokes to Kelsey on the previous hole. Come up big with a birdie on 14 to get one back.
Yeah, I needed that one.
Yeah. Get a little bit of that confidence back in your putt there. And Lisa,
And
who went long.
also has the birdie look. And Lisa doing Lisa things.
Great putt for Lisa there. She's so good at that distance.
She makes so many from that far away.
Looks like Holly's got about 15, 20 feet for her par.
Slamming it in there.
At least
Giving
Kelsey.
the crowd, Holly giving the crowd a nice wave. We had a really nice group of folks following us, clapping, really positive energy. So I appreciate everybody who came out.
So you pick up one more there. That's going to bring us to the signature hole in the course, hole 15, par 4, 690 feet. So you want to sort of throw something up to finish on this hill there before attacking this downhill approach towards this wide open basket. This is probably the one hole on the course where you're going to get some wind, which could come into play on your second shot and your putt. Sarah, what are you thinking here as you're stepping up to hole 15?
Well, I'm thinking about the wind, exactly. This is, we actually have a bit of a headwind on this hole that we haven't really seen in the woods so far. So I'm going to stable up.
Yeah. So she's playing that wide hyzer, didn't get the left finish that she wanted. So she's going to come down the hill, probably finished a little deeper than she had hoped she would there. So you're stabling it up here.
I'm throwing a photon here, trying to actually stay on top of the hill. The previous 2 rounds, I threw over the top of the hill and rolled really far to the right side. I was out of position both times. So I'm trying to land this on the top of the hill instead of down the hill, and it works out even in that headwind.
Yeah. That's a great position. Good footing at the top of the hill there. Kelsey's looking like she's playing that same position, trying to get to the top of the hill.
Kelsey just crushes this destroyer down to the left side.
She's going to be just on the edge there, not quite into the rough there.
Holly throwing her katana here, looking for a little bit more stability. And I really like where she's at. I would prefer her lie over mine at this point.
Yeah, she's got a great look at there. Beautiful look down at this overlook here on the top of the hill. It really is a much higher hill than it looks here on the film.
Her line plays really nice to a righty hyzer over the tops of the trees. And I really like that left side because of the way the line sets up for a backhand at the basket.
Absolutely. You just have to be a little cautious of that headwind, pushing everything a little bit right. Holly plays it really well. Looks like she's probably going to be about 30, maybe 35 feet short for her birdie.
There's a pretty heavy headwind here, and I am not comfortable with this shot. I am trying to figure out what to do. I go with a relay on a hyzer, trying to get it to flip up just a little bit. And it flipped a little more than I wanted, but I end up in a decent position to get up and down for a par, but I have conceded the birdie look.
Yeah, it's really a tough second shot for that sidearm, but I thought you played it really well. And we're going to take a look at where Lisa finished. So she's trying to force over that sidearm shot. She's going to slide on up. She's going to be able to get up and down for par from there. But it's Lisa, so maybe she's going to throw it in. We'll see what she's got in store for us.
Who knows? Kelsey with a big backhand, putting her quite a ways up there, but still going to have about 100 feet for her approach shot.
Yeah. This hole is birdieable, but it really takes two good shots to get down there.
Lisa, I believe, is throwing, well, that was her rat, and I guess she's going with her Sky God. Trying to just put it up there for an easy par.
Oh, Lisa!
Lisa doing Lisa things. That is the second. Yeah, she's been throwing shots in from that distance all weekend. Yeah. It's fun to watch. She's like, I don't know.
Absolutely. Let's take another look at that. Wonderful shot from Lisa. Huge throw in. Who needs change?
That was an awesome birdie. Kelsey pitching up for her par tap in.
So you giving this a good run here, Sarah?
It's about my forward-facing layup range that it might go in, so I'm going to give it a little run with my spin.
Ooh, gave it a good run. Finished a little bit to the right there. Here we got Holly lining up for her par.
Actually, this is her birdie look, I believe.
Oh, this is her birdie look. Okay.
Yeah, she threw that great hyzer over the trees, and she sticks it.
Absolutely well played from Holly. Nice birdie there. Two good birdies on this hole, with Kelsey throwing it, Lisa throwing it in from about 120 feet. And you're lining up your par here. Get a nice easy tap in from Kelsey here to finish off hole 15. A lot of excitement coming into these last couple holes here. You're still holding on to that lead over Kelsey, with Holly and Lisa both picking up birdies there here in hole 15. Hole 16, par 5, 558 feet. Such a demanding hole off the tee. You want to finish as high up on that hill as you can get, avoiding finishing left or right. Get through these trees all the way down to this basket that leaves you with a death putt. If you go far, you're going to roll down this steep hill on the backside, leaving you with a difficult comeback putt. So here we see Lisa on the tee. She gets a good shot. Oh, catches those high trees. She's going to finish a little bit left. It's not what you want to do on this hole.
Holly also looking for that turn to end up on the left side and hits a tree and kicks left.
Yeah, it really is a low ceiling. You get something too high and you're going to catch that vegetation on that ceiling. What are you lining up here, Sarah?
I'm throwing a relay and looking to just get up to as far as I can up that hill, and I'm happy with that.
That's great placement. That's going to put you in good position for your second shot. Kelsey drove the hill yesterday.
Kelsey with her destroyer again, and yeah, she's in good position.
Couple of really great drives there. Oh, Lisa catches that tree at the end of the gap there, getting a little bit of a roll back down to the middle of the hill.
This one is so tricky because that hill is so steep and you really can't see what's going on beyond the hill.
Yeah, absolutely not. If you're not up on that hill, it's so hard to know where to place your second shot. And it is very steep, tricky footing.
Lisa with a great recovery and a good tree kick at the end that kept her more in the short grass.
Some good tree love there for Lisa there. Sarah, your second shot here, a little bit of a step out for you.
Yeah, I'm throwing another relay, looking for it to turn a little bit left through the gap. And it works out.
Yeah, that played really well for you. You're going to have a chance to get aggressive on your next shot, to go for that birdie. And Kelsey with a fantastic drive. She can see where she's going, which is rare on this hole. But she pushes it a little bit long and wide on that backside of the fairway. She's going to have a tricky out from where she's at.
Holly lining up a really tight shot. And she ends up in good position. She'll have a step out to try to get up and down from about 150 feet or so, 100 feet.
Absolutely. We look at Kelsey's position here.
Throwing her buzz. And she scoots right up there for a 20 footer.
Great tree kick, pushing her forward. She's going to have a chance to run that putt. And Lisa stepping up here.
She gets past those blocker trees and ends up pin high with about 20 feet just to the right. That's a great shot.
Really where you want to finish. Really takes that hill out of the play there when you finish to that right side.
I'm pretty uncomfortable with this shot. I'm deciding on the spin so I don't have to actually put any angle on it, and hopefully it'll just slowly fade to the right. And I was really happy with how that worked out.
Yeah, awkward footing, sort of that tough putter anhyzer up towards the pin. You executed really well. Now we're looking at Holly here from about 150 feet. Great layup from her. She should have no problem from there. Lisa, for her, is this for birdie?
No, she had a couple tree kicks early, but she navigated the back end of the fairway really well. So this is probably for single bogey, maybe par.
Oh, and she finishes off the chains.
Again, a little bit left, a little bit tentative on her putt today.
And here's Holly. Strong finish on this hole for Holly. And Kelsey stepping up here with a birdie putt towards that scary downhill. No fear from her. Goes straight into the chains.
She makes up for her quick putting, makes up for my long putting.
It's such a contrasting style. She's just like, all right, let's go. And
yeah. And I'm like so methodical. I have to go through all the little steps.
So you're lining this up here. You've got that downhill right behind the basket. This is for your birdie, keeping pace with Kelsey. Great putt.
I'm stoked to get this birdie, for sure. You have to string together all the shots. And Kelsey just got a birdie, so I'm definitely trying to match.
Felt that pressure here. Coming into hole 17, you've got a 4-stroke lead here coming into this hole 17, par 3, 267 feet. It really lays out well for the sidearm shot. You really want to have a low tunnel shot that's going to push to the right through those guardian trees and up into this sort of dry, dusty green here. It is a challenging shot. If you turn over too much or you don't get on it enough, you're going to fade out early and get into some trouble. Sarah, what do you have for us here?
I'm throwing a vanish on a hyzer, and I chumped this one directly into the ground.
That's an unfortunate throw for you there.
It was a total miss.
We're going to see if Kelsey can capitalize on that. And she absolutely crushes her drive. She's going to fade right in there. Fantastic drive.
That's practically a tap in for her.
Yeah.
Holly with her boss follows the line and puts it heart
Ooh,
fit.
great
That's a
drive from
bullseye.
Holly. Yeah, that's a great drive from Holly.
Lisa with her Roadrunner trying to match everything. And she hits one of those
Oh,
blocker trees. But she's at the edge of the circle, maybe
yeah.
circle to edge of circle 2. I'm throwing a matrix here, trying to get through the gap. I leave it a little bit hazy, but I just got a putt to save my par.
A lot apart. Trying to keep pace with Kelsey there. Lisa for her birdie.
Ooh, almost.
Gave that a good rate. You never know with Lisa if it's going in or not. So this is for your par. Oh, no, you left it short.
That was pretty ugly. I mean, it felt really good, and it needed to go 3 more feet before it started dropping.
And Kelsey makes her birdie, so she's going to pick up 2 strokes here. Let's take another look at Kelsey's putt.
Easy peasy.
Oof.
Just popping it in there, taking a 2-stroke swing with 1 hole to go, leaving us just a stroke apart going into the final hole.
Yeah, absolutely. And hole 18 is no joke. Lots of OB.
Holly with a great tap in for her birdie as well.
So here we are coming into hole 18. You've got a 1-stroke lead over Kelsey. And Lisa and Holly are a little bit, playing tight as well there too for 3rd place. But really the story here is you and Kelsey. She's putting the pressure on you within a stroke, 1 to play on a tough 18. So hole 18 is a par 3, 411 feet. Really tight tunnel shot over this out of bounds Ditch Creek area. And if you finish into that OB, you're throwing from a difficult drop zone, sort of up through this path. And beyond the basket is even more OB down this hill. So it's a difficult, treacherous par 3 here on this final hole.
And that initial OB is definitely right at the end of the flight. So very difficult to control that. Kelsey up first with her T-bird gets an unfortunate kick left.
It's really the first drive that I've seen her miss. Maybe a little bit of nerves coming down the stretch here.
She also missed this drive in one of the earlier rounds. So maybe this has just been maybe this hole just kind of has her number a bit.
Holly with a pretty great drive there. Lisa stepping up here for hers.
Lisa with the Roadrunner looking for that turn, and she gets it. We think she's past those trees, and it hit, but it stays safe.
Oh, stay safe. She clears that rope on the other side of that ditch. Sarah, what are you thinking as you come into this home stretch here?
I'm just going to pipe it up the middle and throw a crave. I'm not laying up, even though I could at this point. And I get a little lucky through the left side.
Fantastic drive. Takes that pressure and really stepped up there in a big way. Kelsey's left with a really difficult approach here.
Yeah, there's so little to work with over there.
Such a challenging position she found herself in. Still trying to get over that OB ditch there. She clears it with her 3rd shot. So she's hoping to hit that 4-4. You're in position here to really take command of this tournament and finish strong. Lisa's lining up her 2nd shot here. Really great up from her. All right, Sarah.
I don't know the score.
You don't know the score?
I don't know the score. I think I know I lost 2 strokes on the last hole, but this is actually a pretty tight putt, and this, regardless of whether I was winning or losing, this is the shot I would be throwing.
That's a smart play. Laying up, taking the 3. We see Holly with a long look here for her two.
Yeah, really tough to get the 2 on this hole, but it's also really easy to get a 6.
Yes,
So,
it is.
And Kelsey for the 4. Gives it a little run. Got a comebacker. But man, she was such a great competitor to battle with here. She's just really sweet woman and a really smooth drive, great putts, and really just a nice person to play with. I was happy to play with her.
What a fantastic finish for Kelsey, really putting the pressure on you coming down the stretch. We're watching Lisa tap out.
Yeah, Kelsey doesn't tour. I only see her every once in a while. And the last time we battled, a similar thing happened where coming down the stretch, we were really close and I squeaked it out. So I feel fortunate to come out on top with Kelsey behind me.
Yeah. So there you have it. Sarah Hokom, the 2020 Pittsburgh Flying Disc Open champion. Congratulations, Sarah. Well played.
Thank you. It was a great weekend. You know, I got to thank my caddy Steve for being there with me, and Robin and my little pup Ruby, and just all the support from the fans and from MVP. And thanks for having me do commentary with you. That's been fun, Maria.
Thanks for joining us. Always happy to have you on here on Disc Golf Examiner. So we're just going to take a look here as we finish this out. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. If you enjoyed this coverage, please like, comment, and subscribe. Sarah, once again, thank you for joining us for this final round coverage. Always a pleasure. Good luck. Where can folks catch you?
Yeah, you can catch me on my social media pages, both Facebook and Instagram. And then I'll be on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. So subscribe to the Disc Golf Network if you want to see that live coverage of the Green Mountain Championships and the Maple Hill Open, which are the next 2 up in a few weeks.
All right. Well, best of luck to you, Sarah. And for everybody else who's watching, keep banging those chains.
I'd like to introduce the 2020 Pittsburgh Flying Disc Open FPO champion, Sarah Hokom.
What a weekend, what a year we've had. I'm just really happy to be here. It's really awesome to see so many people out here supporting the women and walking with us and cheering us on. Really want to thank the TDs for putting this on, and under these circumstances, I know it's so tough. Really got to thank Steve and Robin for being there for me all weekend and before that. And man, it feels good to come back to Pittsburgh and get this one.
Throw gyro!
I gotta thank my sponsors, MVP, Paragon, Disc Golf Strong, Mitten Bags. Check out their stuff. You won't be disappointed. Thank you guys.
Yeah.